the creativity, the
Yes.
open-mindedness, and the endless possibilities, I think, is what makes arranging not only a more unique and creative way to express your
Yeah.
musicality, but it also engages your mind in the most difficult ways.
Hi, my name is Junko Yoshida. Today we are going to do the episode 5 of the Artful Engineer, and our guest is Aaron Barrera. He's an
Hi.
application engineer at Texas Instruments. Hi, Aaron. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Junko. I'm good. How about yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. But what do you exactly do?
My role is an applications engineer at Texas Instruments. I work for brushless DC motor drivers, and what an applications engineer does is an apps engineer is essentially customer support for customers who use brushless DC motor drivers in their system. But my role expands a lot of different types of responsibilities besides customer support. I do content creation, PCB design for new parts and evaluating those. I even record videos to promote new things and a lot of other things that help with customer support.
Given that, I know so you're a very talented field application engineer, but I learned you are also a person with perfect pitch. Can you explain what perfect pitch is, Aaron?
When I was younger, I was in band in middle school, and when we were playing through a song and the teacher had asked us all to sing back our parts, no one could sing their part, but I was singing my part out loud, and I thought, couldn't anyone sing their part out loud? So that's when my teacher came up to me after class and she said, Aaron, I think you may have a special talent called perfect pitch.
Ah,
And once I found out that perfect pitch gives me the ability to hear and internalize notes in my head, I realized, wow, I have a very rare gift that not many people have. I could hear a song on the radio and just play it back immediately on the piano, or if someone asked me what a B flat 3 sounded like, I could sing that pitch back to them. And it
ah.
really guided me to just be able to have the ability to really create music, arrange
Yep.
music, and just kind of see music in a different light that most people don't see it as.
So, in other words, this might be a little overreaching. If the person with the perfect pitch actually doesn't even need to read music, is that right?
It turns out that 1 in 10,000 people have perfect pitch. For a musician to know that they have perfect pitch, they're
Yeah.
really at an advantage. And when I was a kid, I was playing on my keyboard and I could
Yep.
just, know that this note sounded like this note sounded like this. And before you know it, by the time I was in ninth grade, I was starting to write music out on my own notation paper and trying to create my own compositions and arrangements.
Is there any way that you can actually demonstrate, I don't know, play a part of music and then you can actually recreate that things from your years? Or can you do some demo on this?
So for instance, if I look at this note right here, I can see that this is a G3, and this note would sound like this. Do. If I were to go to this note right here, which is C sharp 3, this sounds like this. Do. And let's do one more for example. This one right here is a D4, and this would sound like this. Do.
But did the knowledge of you are a rare person with perfect pitch, did it change the way you think about your career at all?
So when I learned that I had perfect pitch, I really was invested in music at that time. I was finishing band in high school. I did choir my senior year of high school because the people in choir found out I had perfect pitch. And I was really on a musical high when I graduated high school. So I
Mm.
actually became a music major for the first couple of years in college.
Where were you born and where did you grow up?
I was actually born in Key West, Florida. A lot of my family was born and raised in the Keys. And actually, if you are born in Key West, then you're considered a conch for life. But I was only there till I was about 8 years old. So we ended up moving to Tampa, Florida, in 2004. I think mostly to get away from the hurricanes that always came into the Florida Keys. And then um, after I finished high school, I went to the University of Florida. Go Gators! You can see my banner back there.
Yeah.
And now I'm here in Dallas, Texas.
Any one of your family members are like musician or there's something to do with music business?
The answer is no. None of my family were musicians. None of my family were engineers. So it's honestly kind of a blessing that I've been able to figure out the things that I enjoy in life.
Okay, so it's not like you were exposed to the opera early days in your childhood. It's just that. So, what is the first encounter with music for you as a kid?
I think it was when I received my first piano or keyboard when I was in fourth grade. It was just your basic Yamaha keyboard, 100
Yeah,
songs on the song bank, 100 different tones.
yeah.
I would honestly, I mean, I wanted to be a good piano player, but all I would do is just like hit play on the song, and it would
Hmm.
show like the song notes being played. I couldn't even read, piano notation or anything like that. All I would see, or I couldn't read, scores or anything like that. All
Hmm.
I would see is the notes on the screen, and I would just follow along with that and just mimic the song. That's how I learned how to play For Elise by Beethoven. I didn't even read any scores or anything like that.
You can actually visualize and you can recreate Beethoven without actually reading the score.
Pretty much. And some people actually have heard of a term. I
Yeah.
forget what it's called myself. I think it's called like synesthesia or something like that. That people associate colors with pitches, and that's something that people have asked me a lot over my years. But I actually don't see any colors. I just can hear the
Just
notes internally in my head. It's just something that is engraved in my brain somehow that I can't get rid of, no matter how hard I try. Whenever
wow.
people talk, whenever I hear like a noise, I can actually hear the pitch associated with that.
Can you share some of your favorite bands or composers or arrangers? Can you share some of your taste in music?
I really fell in love with 90s and 2000s alternative rock. I
Huh.
believe those genres of music have some of the greatest bands that have ever existed. Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Green Day, uh, just any band from those two eras. They have exemplary musicianship, lyrics, and in terms of creating a really fun, rich song that actually
Mhm.
has substance and heart and passion, and most importantly to me, good musicality in it. That's what really
Uh,
makes me feel like I enjoy a song.
Feel to be loved. How does it feel to be loved?
you just use the term musicality. How do you define that? What do you mean musicality?
Yeah, when most people listen to music, they listen to the lyrics, or nowadays they listen to the beat. I like to listen to the chords.
Love it how I move you. You love it how I touch you. My one. When all is said and done, you believe God is one
I
Mhm.
really like variety and things that really give you either goosebumps on your skin or just make you feel a certain mood. And so when I listen to music, I listen to the chords and how
Right.
melodies kind of follow those chords. And that's kind of the way my brain works. It follows this train where it wants to find like a good genre of music where I have good chords with good melodies over it, and to really kind of bring out feelings.
You just talk about your love for composition, arranging. What part of arranging appeals to you?
The creativity, the
Yeah.
open mindedness, and
Mm,
the endless possibilities, I think, is what makes arranging not only a more unique and creative way to express your
yeah.
musicality, but it also engages your mind in the most difficult ways.
I'm addicted to you. Hooked on your love like a powerful drug. I can't get enough of. Lost in your eyes.
My understanding is that while you're in school, you actually started your own business, which is really the starting to arrange music for the university, different the a cappella groups at different
Yeah.
university, that sort of thing. So this is sort of like really business oriented instinct you had because I think you're the first person that I interviewed that who said that you explained your music as a product or as a
Mhm.
service, right?
So there's a whole lot of backstory that goes into how I became a arranger and made money off of it as a business. Back when I was a music major, I had just finished one of my lessons on a weekend, and I was walking out of the music building, and there was a bunch of people singing like, at a table, and I could immediately tell it was an a cappella group, just like the movie Pitch Perfect. And I thought as a joke, oh, how funny would it be if I auditioned and see how far I made it into the process, considering I am not a very great singer myself. So I auditioned, and before you knew it, they actually had accepted me into the group, and I was in an a cappella group for a couple of years in college. But what I learned with a cappella music is everything I enjoyed about arranging and how I like to create music fell in the genre of a cappella. I got to write chords for the entire ensemble to sing, and I could open it up and make it however I want it to be as an arrangement. So I really enjoyed that niche of music genre because it gave me the ability as an arranger to really express all the ways that my mind works.
No, I'm supposed to be unhappy without someone, but aren't I someone?
I quit the acapella group after 2 years, and I said I wanted to arrange for groups around the entire country. I wanted to arrange for groups that were really good and that really had the same passion for music that I did. And I really wanted to put myself out there as a freelance arranger. Before you knew it, I arranged probably about 10, 15 arrangements my first few months as an arranger, and they pay me for my services. And I actually started a relationship with a lot of those groups.
You spent the first 2 years in college as a music major. Why did you switch?
I was considering mechanical engineering, civil engineering, industrial engineering. But what happened was the advisors actually didn't think that I was going to fit in and mesh in well with the program because I was already so committed to the music program. So they actually didn't really give me the opportunity to switch. So I was kind of lost for a little while. And then my friend had mentioned to me, what about electrical engineering? There's a lot of cool things you can do with like circuits and designs and things like that that you might enjoy. And I said, sure, I'll give it a shot. But the advisor for electrical engineering actually welcomed me in with open arms, and they said, yeah, just take this class and you can easily follow the electrical engineering path. And so even though I was 2 years into music, I switched over to electrical engineering. It's going into my third year, and in that time I was able to um, do 3 internships, pass all my classes, and really learn, what it is to be like an electrical engineer.
Are there anything you started to see that there's common threads between math and music?
I know that math and music utilize two completely different parts of your brain, and it's creativity versus doing something that's rigid, and it is supposed to be the way it is. But I've realized what bridges these two things in the middle is patterns. The way I think about music, even though I get to put my own creativity and soul and my own kind of flavor into the music and a cappella arrangements that I've arranged in the past, I've always been a person who has enjoyed following some sort of pattern or formula in order to create the song that I wanted to create. The patterns that I do in music are the same kind of patterns that I've always had in math. In math, you follow the patterns, you follow the steps needed to solve equations. I think of my life very much in patterns because the more I can follow a pattern to get to a successful answer, then I will keep doing that until it doesn't work out. If it doesn't work out, then I'll find a new pattern.
That smile, and it seems to me must be a childhood memory where everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky.
The way you explain about your current business, interacting with your clients, customers, solving customers' problems on the field, a little bit similar to the way you approach to communicate with different a cappella groups are there any patterns that you can explain that what you learned the building your own business with the a cappella group, are they being helpful for you today at TI?
When I reach out to an a cappella group, I actually have a form and I say, what kind of song are you looking for? What are you looking for out of this arrangement? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? I'm assessing, analyzing what the group is, what the situation is like, and what kind of products they want at the end of the day. So you ask questions, you investigate. Then I go into my mode of thinking. I opened up my notation software and I start crafting that arrangement. And fast forward 2 years later to me being an apps engineer here at Texas Instruments, and we have a customer who has a problem with their system. It's the same kind of thinking. Is I ask them all the questions, I investigate, I get to know the system, and then I get to use my brain in two different ways, maybe technical versus more creative, but it's a very similar pattern between the two ways I've approached a cappella groups and I've approached customers. And I really think my experience with a cappella groups has really helped me leverage and get the confidence mostly to just be able to approach customers now and help them with their solutions.
This is great. Well, thank you so much for coming to the show. And I really enjoyed it. I mean, I never knew about this arrangement side of the a cappella groups. Thanks for coming to the show.